Hey everybody, I hope you guys have had a great week. We've had a bit of vacation and so it's time to get back at it. So here are my plans for this coming Wednesday. We are going to be doing lesson 10, learning the second conjugation. So what I think I'm going to start with is I'll probably just have this on the board along with the new vocabulary. But we're going to review just a little bit. We'll probably do some chanting or something, laudo, laudare, laudawe, laudatus. And then just reviewing what the four principal parts, or the fact that there are four principal parts, that we get our stem off the second principal part for the present system. These endings, we'll say them over and over again. We might review conjugating a verb. I picked this one because it's super short. So once we get this conjugated, I might bounce around and just ask different kids, what is the English translation for each of these. So I have present, imperfect, and future here. And then I will probably write this one up here. Ask them if they can compare the two. So we'll have a little conversation, a little comparison here between these. And we'll come to some conclusions and we'll see our endings here. And we'll introduce the fact that these are the principal parts for second conjugation. So at that point, we'll probably conjugate one of our verbs in the workbook and talk that through and, again, probably practice those English translations. Then we'll come over here to the new vocabulary. I'll have these on the board. We'll talk through each of them. We will just realize that apparently they've given us one word for these three verbs, but this one they've given us three principal parts. So that's interesting. That's different. We haven't seen that before. So we're going to take a look at it when we read this and see if we can figure out what's going on there. This word right here, we'll see if we can talk through that and figure out what it is and why do these endings look different? We've got this plural ending here that's eventually going to tell us the fact that this is plural only. So again, I want them to do the best that they can to make their observations and come to their conclusions. At that point, we're going to go back and we're going to read the text that goes with this lesson. So I have that over here, and they'll just take turns reading and explaining it to me. So we'll go through these. At this point, we'll talk about the fact that when they give you more than the first principal part, then that means that this particular verb does not follow the model. And in this particular case, this one does not have a fourth principal part. They will tell you that down here in the note. As you can see here, Tomeo has no fourth principal part. So anyway, otherwise it does look like the others. We have the o, ere, ui. Just not the fourth principal part. Anyway, so we'll read, we'll talk through all of this stuff, we'll come and we'll make our observations now in our grammar book. Rules 165, 168, and 171. Now keep in mind, we will have already conjugated one second conjugation verb, and at this point, we are now going to go and actually confirm that we did it correctly by looking in the book. So I like to always kind of remind them of the four principal parts right here for the four conjugations. But anyway, so here we are. We'll spend some time just making observations about when do we have macrons and when do we have an E and the ba for imperfect and the b, well the b and b for the future tense. Some other observations are the meanings are not given here. They have to come back over here and find the meanings. The meanings are going to be the same. It doesn't matter the conjugation. We're still going to follow this pattern right here. So anyway, we'll talk through how to use these pages and just make sure that they're very comfortable with these particular rules. So anyway, after that, there's not a lot of new stuff this time. This is a great day for some review. So we'll probably play some around the world using these exercises, 135 through 138. That way I can do some very quick, a quick moving game to see that we all understand what's going on. This exercise involves present tense. There's the imperfect. And over here is the future. And then I might even, because these are super short, I might even include this one in our game of around the world. where I'll just pop something on the board, they all will answer, and then they get to roll and move their thing around their empire. So that'll give me a good bead on whether or not we understand what's going on. At this point, we'll probably do one of these from exercise 139 together in class. I have it over here. I've purposely chosen 2 colors in my labeling here. I've done the subject and the verb in orange. I want them identifying subjects and verbs that go together and the fact that they have to agree. If I have a nominative singular subject, then my verb needs to be singular. And then over here, we have another clause. Now, this is our dependent clause over here, so we might talk just a little bit about independent clauses versus dependent clauses and how to recognize those. As a matter of fact, I'll probably even take my grammar trivium table from Essentials with me, and we might review some of our conjunctions and how the conjunctions can introduce adverbial subordinate clauses. Anyway, so here we recognize that we have a nominative plural and our verb is also plural. Then we've got a bunch of other nouns and words here that we will identify. So this one will be interesting to see if they pick up on the fact that this is being used as an adjective. It's not just another noun. And then I think that's pretty much it. I've got the translation here all ready to go. Once we've done that, we'll break into teams and play hangman with our pananagrams, probably using exercise 140. I'll just pick a sentence up here and I'll put the little dashes up on the boards, hangman style, and then they will have to, as we place the letters in the hangman game, they will work on discovering what that word is, translating it, and then using the bananagram tiles to show the translation. So the winning group is the one that gets the sentence first, fully translated using the tiles, not the fact that they yelled it out. So anyway, I wanted to show you here. Let's see. I had it. Yeah, there it is. So I have this verb conjugated here, and I think I did Tomeo as well. I just haven't finished getting the translation in there. So anyway, I'll have those on hand, and we will make sure we understand how to find our 4 principal parts, and even when they don't give us all 4 principal parts in the vocabulary. Anyway, I think that's it. It's going to be a pretty light day with lots of game time. So I hope you guys have a good one.